I'm very pleased to welcome our Assistant News Director, Tim Kiley, here. He works with us at Channel 3, but he's put together a fantastic documentary. He is a filmmaker, and his most recent project is available on YouTube. It will also air here this coming Monday. It is called Lens Flares, Trauma in Journalism. Thank you very much, Tim, for taking time to do this.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, give me the genesis of trauma in journalism. You cover a lot of ground, and you speak with a lot of journalists who've been working out in the field at covering horrific events.
Well, it really started with me. So my journey in journalism started with my experience being in New York on 9/11, and then covering various other things like the terrorist attack in San Bernardino and some other big events. And I noticed that it was impacting myself. And talking to other people, I realized that it was normal for people to be impacted by trauma, but not something that was talked about. It was sort of not allowed to be talked about.
Yeah, I believe that's very true. I think viewers at home expect reporters to just be out there, report, and shake it off, and you go from one traumatic event to another, and in hard news we cover some really horrific things.
Yeah, and there's never really any time to decompress or just talk about it, or even admit that maybe a story that you covered bothered you in some way, shape, or form.
Now, tell me about the journey to get this done. This was a lengthy project for you. You've been working on it a while.
I was working on it for about 5 years, and actually COVID and work from home provided me the opportunity to get it done. I found myself not commuting, I found myself at home, and it was a convenient time to dig in and get a project finished.
You spoke with a lot of journalists, several of whom worked here, a lot of folks I knew. How did they react when you sat down with them to talk about how they had been impacted by these difficult stories?
Well, basically all of them had the same reaction, which was that they had never been asked this before, but it was something that was heavily on their mind and that they had thought about. So although it was something that was impacting their life, it wasn't something that they were comfortable or that was normal to discuss. There are several people that I did talk to that it actually has driven them out of the business. Good reporters that no longer wanted to do it because they felt it was impacting their lives, and they left the business because of it. What's
the call to action here? Is there something that journalism as an industry should be doing to help reporters cope with the trauma they experience on a daily basis?
Well, I think so. I think maybe it starts in school. If schools were addressing this and people knew that this would be a problem in the industry that they're choosing, I think that would be nice, that they know what they're getting into. I also just think normalizing it, making it okay to talk about, checking in with people after there's been a difficult story, and making it okay for people to discuss the fact that they're bothered by the stories that they're covering.
Well, it's a passion project for you, and folks can view this on YouTube, Lens Flares, Trauma in Journalism. It's available to stream right now.
That's correct, yes.
And you've been in a number of film festivals.
Yeah, we had some success at some small film festivals. One I was very proud of was called the Believe Psychology Film Festival, which focused specifically on, issues of psychology, and I was touched that we were able to win that festival.
There'll be a special showing of Lens Flares right here on KESQ News Channel 3, but you can go to lensflaresdocumentary.com for more information. You can watch it online as well, and I encourage you to do so because it'll give you a little bit of a different perspective on how journalists deal with the events that they report on. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you, Patrick.